What are the takeaways then from the earnings? The Vision Fund loss clearly of interest.
Certainly, that was a very large loss and just another sign that things are bleak at the Vision Fund. The outlook there has not been good. That continues, and the valuation of those companies, the portfolio companies that SoftBank has invested in, does not look good at this stage at all. It almost completely wiped out their quarterly profit, caused a huge miss of their what they posted versus analyst estimates. So this was a surprise result and not a good situation for the company.
On the other hand, the T-Mobile Sprint approval is a good situation for the company, right? How important is this deal for SoftBank?
That was the good news, and the shares were up 12% today on that news. That takes about $40 billion of debt off of their balance sheet. That's a very key point for this company, that SoftBank operates with very high leverage. So if they can take that amount off their balance sheet, that gives them a bit of breathing room, which they really need. In order to move this company forward, they've got to continually borrow more and invest more. That's been the plan for Sony's made that work year after year, decade after decade. And so it's necessary to have a bit of shoring up of the balance sheet, even as he's facing pressure from the likes of Paul Singer, who you mentioned has taken now a $3 billion stake in the company. As pressure builds for that, he really needed some good news, which was the approval of this Sprint deal. You know, that's been an albatross around the company's neck for years now. They've been talking about trying to get this deal done, and now it's finally done. That gives the company some breathing room to move forward and to keep the focus more on their portfolio companies.
Yeah, and Dave, to what extent are investors revaluing SoftBank? We talked about the activist investor interest, and this is a business that is being reshaped, as we've discussed. So what's happening in terms of the investor community?
Right. Well, certainly with Paul Singer, you know, the focus is going to be on the company's capital allocation. You know, a year ago, SoftBank was announcing a 600 billion yen buyback. That's massive. That's on the order of $6 billion. It's a huge buyback. They haven't announced that now, but you have to know that the pressure's building for that. They have raised the dividend, but the payout for this company, there's going to be immense pressure for that payout to come. That's sort of the idea behind creating this holding company. And now that they've got the Sprint deal out of the way, that allows them to focus on this idea that they're going to pick winners, and the valuation of those are going to go up. They're going to be able to take those companies public and get payouts for their investors. And so that's what the focus is going to be on, just how much cash they can generate from the portfolio companies, and then how much of it they're willing to return to investors.